welcome to the Mad Lucrative Podcast. I'm the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. Yo, I just finished playing the Travis Scott for my people on TikTok, the few of you that's still here. Thank you for staying. John, what up? Ray, what up? JB, what up? J-Bomb, my bad, I saw you. But yo, I didn't want to start with Travis, but I'm gonna start with Travis today, cause yo, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna do a full. I'm not even gonna do a full drop on it. I just want to make sure that everybody supports the Travis Scott Utopia album. So, for what I heard so far, because I have not had time to listen to the whole joint, I can't lie. I've been stuck on like two joints. It's the Meltdown joint, and what's the other one? The Sirens joints is ridiculous. The intro is ridiculous. So one thing, okay, this is one thing that I must say. And matter of fact, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App if you want to. The joint's on the bottom. Go ahead and support the Cash App. If y'all want to do that joint, it's the Mad Lucrative Network Cash App. All right, but anyway. So, I first heard the intro to the Travis Scott album. And the one thing I just, see, I'm stuttering because the joint's just that fire. So, I sat down and I said, you know what? I remember Travis Scott. I'm going to give y'all a little journey so everybody knows I'm a producer. So I remember I was over in, Tree Sound Studio here in Atlanta, right? I was here in Tree Sound Studio here in Atlanta, and I saw that night it was Jeezy was in the studio, Tip was in the studio. I was in there working with Young Book and them, and I can't remember who else was in the studio. It was somebody else in the studio. I just can't remember right now. And I remember Molly was telling me, yeah, J. Cole and them just left, Drake just left and all that stuff. And Tip got this new guy. Keep in mind, she was like, Tip got this new guy named Travis. I think he's going to go by Travis Scott. So I was like, Travis Scott, okay, cool, whatever. You know, so, and I'm a music producer, so I just kind of bypassed the whole conversation. And I remember hearing something down the hall. It was something down the hall I heard. And it's something about a producer that don't mind being very musical with whatever they produce. It shoots my antennas up, right? So I remember hearing a melody of something that he was working on in the studio down the hall. And I was like, sheesh, what is that? So me and my manager that I had at the time was like, yo, that boy down there cooking. So I was like, yo, whoever it is, I got to meet who it is. And of course, like every other music producer and everybody in the music business, y'all know how we do. We leave the space and we do not link up with some of the people that's in there. And then we be like, okay, I should have linked up with them. So years later, I hear, yeah, you know, that same dude, Travis Scott, was on Kanye's album. I was like, I know that name. I remember that name. So I said, that's the dude from the studio that other night. Yo, I'm so proud, yo. I'm so proud. Travis Scott has really continued to push the envelope. And I know all of my Christian D people, I know I am a Christian, but I'm still a music producer. And I know my Christian D people will say, well, yeah, you know, that's that devil worship. So like, it might be something, right? I'm not gonna say it is or it ain't. It might be something to it. But yo, Travis, yo, clap. I might put my clap button right there for in post. But yo, every song on the album just flowed, and I think that's what's missing right now. Like I've heard some new artists and some new producers and singers and songwriters. They've released music, and a lot of them do really, really good music. Like they really do create good music. But at the end of the day, it's not like a flowing album. It's not like something that is just going to make me play it back and play it back. And there's layers to it too. That's one thing. Okay, so this is a PSA to all my young producers, right? Uncle Nito got to talk to you. Come on, bring it close. You know how we do. I want y'all to start mimicking people that's great. There it is, I said it. I want y'all to start mimicking people that's great. Because I think what's happening right now is a lot of the music that's being created, Y'all making AI music right now. Everything that y'all producing right now is AI. Y'all making AI music. So I want y'all to dig deep in them brains and start thinking of some other stuff to produce. Start thinking of some new melodies. Start thinking of some new rhythms. I think it's only so many times you can do the same thing over and over and over and over. And at some point, the other producers, like a Timbaland, like a Pharrell, like and I don't need Chad. I'm not crapping on your name. We gonna say Chad too. Chad Hugo, the Neptunes, not just Pharrell, because Pharrell done got the shine, right? Everybody love Pharrell, but I'm talking about the Neptunes with all the melody, all the layers to the records. We got to get back to that, and I do understand getting to that space. Welcome, welcome. But getting to that space does make you have to study music. I'm a painting man, designing walls, doing what I can. I'm a painting man, designing walls, doing what I can.
Hello. You have no clue what to do next, do you? And you haven't danced choreography since 2008 at your cousin's wedding. No, you haven't, but I can help you. What you need is a brand plan. Come on, say it with me. Brand plan. Okay, one more time. Brand plan. Yes, a brand plan is showing audiences the when, the where, the how, and the why about your brand. Got it? No worries. My name is Shamia Crawford, and I have grown my audience organically on social media. And I want to show you how to capture your brand and your service to attract the right customers for you. You know, just using my skill and my razzle-dazzle. But if you want that, if you want to get into the social media train, email me at drofarmedia@gmail.com and come aboard this train. Here we go.
Producers, let's study music. Study people that's great. I don't want y'all. Yo, you heard that new Trippie Redd record? Okay, cool. Yo, even that Drake joint hard. Yeah, it is. It's cool. Cool. But the people the aliens, them the ones I'm listening for. The new Dre's. The new people that can simplify a record, but then when they do it that one time, we can recycle it over and over. I.e. Swiss Beats. I ain't gonna lie. This might be a little bit of a musical pod today. But I ain't gonna lie. When I first heard Swiss Beats records, I'm gonna say back in 09. Back in 09 when I first started hearing Swiss Beats records. I was just like, maybe a little bit before that too. So I'm thinking about the DMX era and the Rough Riders era. I was like, this is cool. You know, Swiss is cool. But when you think about it now, and this is what I mean. I wasn't a big Swiss fan back in the day. I felt like he didn't have no melodies, and it was like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, all right, it's cool. It hit hard. If you're from New York, I see how it can work, you know. But then now, fast forward that joint 13 years later, and then Lil Wayne jump on that joint and swing it a whole different way lyrically. That's what's missing. So producers, singers, songwriters, I know I normally do this towards the end, but I need y'all to step it up, yo. AI is on y'all tail. I done said that I don't know how many times too. Yo, Sarge, I done said that. Beaver Punch, I done said that. AI is on everybody's tail right now. And if you can't force yourself to be creative and do something new and fresh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, Travis, again, great job. And speaking of musicians, Lizzo! Hey, Lizzo, what you gonna do? Hey, Lizzo, what you gonna do? Hey, Lizzo, what you gonna do? I know exactly what she did. Yo, okay. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm laughing. YouTube. Yo, I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing. Okay, so for some time now, I've been wondering when I don't. Okay. I'm gonna sound like a hater, so I don't want to sound like a hater. But there comes a time, and I think it happens in it happens in the music business over and over. But there comes a time when the golden child of the music business gets caught up in something. Now I don't know if the something is necessarily planned, because then that'll be feeding into a conspiracy theory, which I'm not trying to do that. But I think something always happens. It's like the baby. Shouts out to the baby in Carolina. He went on stage and said what he said, and they took them M's from that boy. They took all them M's. So he had to go back to the people for graces. I'm not gonna say who the people are. That's a whole nother pod, whole nother day. But he goes to the people, he begs, he says, hey, I don't want no smoke. I just need to go back on tour. Can you let me go back on tour, please? Please? And then the people says, yeah, you cool. You go back on tour. But once you go back on tour, we need a cut of that. We need like 10%. And we're going to say that you're donating that towards the cause. It happens over and over. It happens over. Sarge, it happens over and over. So I was just like, okay. When it's certain people now, and I'm gonna go back. I'm going back to Lizzo. It's certain people in the business that I've been waiting. I've been waiting, like, okay, they good, they fire, okay. Now I'm not gonna add this to it, but it happens to a lot of black artists, some white artists too, because I know Sean J will say you're being racist. I'm not, but it happens to a lot of black artists where they got to take the bag from them. So I'm going to invent this. This is something new I'm adding to the podcast. When somebody do some random stuff that's just super nasty, and I'm talking about from hygiene to sexual content to morally wrong things. When somebody does something just bad, they getting a nasty award. And I'm going to get a nasty award for all of you. I'm going to have a little plaque. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Today, you won the Nasty Award, right? All right, so this, on episode 92, remember, I'm introducing the Nasty Award. So, Lizzo, you win the Nasty Award. All right, so for everybody that didn't know, let me make sure I get some of my context. The laptop will be coming soon. I'm sorry, y'all, again. But, let me make sure I get the right one. All right, so Lizzo's dancers are now suing her over sexual harassment and hostile working environment allegations. Right? Lizzo is getting sued for sexual harassment and hostile working environment allegations. All right, so this is one thing I got to say. And I'm not taking up for Lizzo. I'm not saying that none of the stuff that she did was cool. But I'm gonna ask y'all this. You right here, right? You over there, right? I'm gonna ask y'all this. When you go to Apple, right? We're gonna be broad too. We're gonna be broad. So when you go to Apple, and I'm talking about Apple computer, right? Or Mac computer. When you go over there and you say, hey, I want to get a job. They say, okay, cool. I'm going to give you the job. You go to that job. The expectations of that job is what? Work on computers. That's one. That's one option. Sell computers. That's another option. What else? Customer service part of the computers, just teaching people how to use the stuff, right? That's a part of the job. You know, that's Mac. That's Apple. You know, that's like the Cadillac of computers, right? All right, cool. So then let's say we go to a restaurant. Beautiful. You say, hey, Mr. Restaurant owner, I wanna get a job over here. I want to get a job. Can I have a job? Can I have a job? The restaurant owner says yes. Here's your job. You can expect to go to that job and cook food. That's one option. Be a server or a waiter. That's another option. Be a cashier. That's another option. Or be management. It's going to be one of them. So I say that to say this. When you go work for Lizzo, Have you heard the music? Have you seen what she went to the whole basketball game with a tail out? I'm not cussing this episode. I promise y'all, I'm not gonna cuss this episode. She went to the basketball game with her stuff out. Have you seen what she's trying to do? And okay, all right. I can say this too, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because I feel like some of y'all still scary. How y'all scary? I don't understand that. So, being that I was a little bit more chunkier, right? I was a little bit more chunkier, a little bit more huskier, a little bit more of a stomach, a little man boob, right? I can say that about myself. And I know for a fact, I gotta put my Denzel finger. I know for a fact when I was super fat, like I'm saying, like 285. I was super fat, 285. I know for a fact when I went outside in the heat, this man boob down there, that joint sweating. I said, you know what? What's up, girl? What's up, girl? I said, you know what? I can't be this big for long. I gotta lose some weight. Bruh, your feet hurting. Every time you walk from class to class, your feet hurting. What you doing? So I say that to say this. I know good and goddamn on well. Lizzo, your feet is hurting. Your feet gotta be hurting, baby. I know it got. So, all right. Back to it. If I look at a person's character and I look at what they're willing to wear in public, I look at the things that they're willing to do, whether they do the fellatio. I'm keeping it PG too. Y'all see this. I'm doing very good. I'm doing good. But if you know that this person is used to doing some nasty stuff, then I can only expect if I say, hey Lizzo, can I have a job? She gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna put this banana down there and you're gonna eat that banana off of her. And I'm be like, oh, for real? Bet nah. Yeah, okay. All right. So on a serious note, I do feel like there are certain times that an artist gets to a certain level where you do feel unstoppable, right? I do understand that, and I do understand that when it's a artist of that caliber, the business has to go behind it and somewhat protect it, right? Because I can't say that those dancers did not say something to somebody before now, and then that somebody that they may have said something to was like, yo, just be quiet. Like, you'll be good. You need what? You need 20,000? Yeah, I'll take 20,000. Cool. Shut up. Sign this NDA. You good. I can't say that didn't happen. Right? And now it's a recession. That 20 G's done ran up, so it's up. So I would say this. Lizzo, yes, you won the Nasty Award tonight. I might need to make it today instead of tonight, because then it makes it even more promiscuous. But yes, you win the Nasty Award, Lizzo. Elizabeth. Is her name Elizabeth? Yo, Kaylee, is her name Elizabeth? John. Yo. Lizzo Elizabeth. Yo. Nasty Awards go to you. Treat your people better. And if you got some random nasty sexual things that you like to do, keep that stuff at your house. Do that in your own bedroom. Don't bring the people that work for you into your space. Like, let them do that. Let them do that over there. Because this is one thing I will say. And this is on a serious note, and we're going to go to some more subjects. But I know when you are a business owner, because Lizzo is an enterprise. I'm not trying to be funny. But Lizzo is an enterprise. Why is that so funny? Yo, all right. Big mans. All right. Put it together. Lizzo is an enterprise, and she has to conduct herself as such, right? If you have people, that's why why the saying says, don't mix business with pleasure. If she got off on seeing somebody eat a banana off of somebody, and it's like, oh, girl, you nasty. No, you nasty. Nasty award goes to you. So let's treat your business like a business. Everybody around us, stop protecting her. Like, everybody got to just stop with the foolishness. I know a lot of people try to cape for other people so they protect their jobs. But at a certain point, when it's inhumane things that's going on in the workplace, you got to call it out. So it's, and I'm gonna get off this one. I'm gonna get off of it. But that's just like me going to. This is like me. Okay, I'm gonna pick one of my industries, building, right? Working on houses, flipping houses. That's like me going to one of my houses and I say, "Hey, man, I want you to go over there and touch him on that. And then if you don't do it, I'm not gonna pay you." The person naturally is gonna be like, well, why are you making me do this? This is weird, bro. Bro, do I really got to do it? Do I really got to do it? Yeah, I got to see you do it to see how loyal you are. That's nasty. I deserve the nasty award for doing something like that. That's what's the word? Egregious. I deserve the award. Stop. Go. So, yes, Lizzo. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Next subject, fake food. All right, so I saw this clip, and we're gonna touch on this. We're gonna touch on this, but fake food, right? So I've been seeing a lot of clips of different companies making certain things, right? Different companies making a piece of chicken, for instance, right? They got the chicken in this fake chicken, this GMO chicken. They got it in this package, and they're molding it. Then they sell it to us. Look like chicken, smell like chicken. It peels and stuff like chicken, but it's not chicken. So my question would be, what would that do inside of our body? What does that look like in the next 20 years? And the same thing, I got some of my family members. I got some of them that was like, yo, you need to get the jab. You need to get the jab. I was like, why am I get the jab? What do you look for? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, it's weird, yo. It's weird. So, I saw the chicken. That was one. Then I saw the fish. They said, yo, we can make this fish look real. We can grow a fish-like material in the next 2 days. Then again, I love all my people on Instagram that send me videos. Thank y'all for sending me the videos. I will keep talking about it. But I saw them make the fish. I said, okay, they made fish from a fish particle. Okay. How does that work? So I'm doing some research. Then I'm like, okay, that's fake. So what does that look like inside of our body? Then my wife sends me a video. It's enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Y'all done did it with the watermelon. Yo, they done clone. So I might put the video right here. But it's a guy that's cutting a piece of watermelon, and he out at Walmart. I'm kind of glad he did that. But he out at Walmart. He said, is this supposed to be watermelon? So he cuts it in half, and then it's jiggling. Like, it don't break. Y'all know, if you cut a piece of watermelon and you do like that, that joint going to break off, and you're going to get a little piece on the bottom, and you're going to eat that piece of watermelon like that. So they cut this watermelon, and it just jiggled like Jell-O. So then he cut it again, and that piece jiggled like Jell-O. So I'm like, okay, they done got to the watermelon. So I do feel like we're at the point where everybody has to pay attention to everything that we eat. And when I say everything we eat, let's pay attention to where we get the stuff from. One of my rule of thumbs, and I'll tell y'all this too, if y'all want to adopt it, cool. If I sound crazy on TikTok, let me know. But one thing that I do, I don't buy meat from Walmart. I don't buy milk from Walmart. I think really at this point, the only thing that I buy would be like the junk foods or dry foods. So like rice, grits, cereal, maybe chips, stuff like that. Those are the things that I buy from there. All my meats and stuff, if I can go to the farmer's market, I'm going to go to the farmer's market. I'm going to get it from there. If I can go to Aldi, even in that, me and my family only eat fish. We don't eat nothing else. So it's like, yo, it's time to start switching up. Because let's fast forward in the next 30 years, right? The next 30 years, and I'm not saying this to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just paying attention to what's going on. But let's say in the next 30 years, you got COVID 27 out, right? You got COVID 27 out in the next 20 years. And it's something in this GMO food that adds to this, and it just makes you croak over, i.e., the population control. I know y'all been seeing the clips. I'm not the first one to say it. I can't be the first one to say it. But the idea of population control, I can see how it can easily add up. It makes sense. If you look at the food, you look at the little fake shot that they wanted us to put in our body, you look at the way the economy is starting to go, right? If you look at where money is being moved to, the idea of them not, the idea of paper money not being in rotation no more is just one of them things for me. Like, okay, I get that we do have to get to the point where we're progressing, right? Progressing. We got to do this, got to do that. But at some point, I do believe that it's just too much. Like, and I'm not talking on the community tonight. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking. Y'all ain't gonna get me. But I've been having to talk about the community for the past couple of weeks, and they've been getting on me. So I ain't trying to do that tonight. But at some point, everything just you just got to look at everything. Case in point, if you want to get some vegetables, right? Say you want to go to the vegetable down the place down the street. Digital money is not processing. Exactly. Exactly, GB. You get it. Sierra, yeah, what up? So at some point, you can't go down the street to the farmer that grows his natural collard greens or natural watermelon. It sounds crazy to say natural, and it's a fruit or vegetable. That's where we at. Or organic. The idea of organic. That sounds crazy. If it's a fruit or a vegetable, it's supposed to always be organic. But that lets me know, even in this, I don't know if y'all know this. Did you know this? A lot of my farmer friends was telling me, Mike, if you wanted to kill a whole group of people, what would you need to do? Or unlife, because I don't want to get flagged. But if you wanted to unlife a group of people, what do you need to do? And I was like, well, I don't know. What? Mess with the food and mess with the water supply. If you do that, they don't really have no options, but they got to deal with what you give them. I was just like, wow. So then we had the conversation, because y'all know I got a little bit of a green thumb. My joint a little brown right now. But I got a little bit of a green thumb. And I said, yo, I want to grow some watermelon in the back. We already got chickens. We got chickens back there. What up? What up, cuz? We got chickens back there. And I said, you know what? I want to grow some watermelon. I want to grow some carrots, kale. What else are we growing? Tomatoes, potatoes, and some other things, right? They said, all right, the best way to grow these things, the way you grow it is you plant a piece of potato and the potato spreads out. I was like, yo, that's fire. That's dope. So then they said, well, you know what? Don't go buy your seeds from the store, because it's only for one season. To me, that's crazy. How is it that I could go to the grocery store or Home Depot or whatever, buy a tomato seed, right? Tomato seeds to go plant in the ground. I plant the tomatoes, and it only comes out for one season. After that, you got to go to the store and buy more seeds. Did y'all know that's what they doing right now? That's what they doing. So that's why I be like, yo, I know a lot of people think that I be talking about money consistently, but at the end of the day, it's always going to go back to the bread. So what happens if all of the seeds are GMO improved, right? And you grow those seeds for one season, and then somebody comes by and sprays something over the sky that can affect your vegetation and your crop. What happens then? You got to go back to the store and go buy what you need to eat. I'm just paying attention, y'all. Yo, we got to pay attention. And I didn't want to dig on the fake food. I probably was on there for like 10 minutes. I didn't want to dig on the fake food, but I really feel like we are all getting fed some BS. And the more BS that we just continue to eat, we all gonna turn into BS. Just sounding dumb. I can't. It's so easy to talk about y'all, but I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk today. All right, next, relational equity. Relational equity, and this is gonna be a short pod. I'm not doing a 4 hour today because I got a lot more things to do. I'm not saying that y'all not important. I love y'all. Y'all know, I love y'all. I might actually do a second pod this week. I'm gonna see. I did a morning show pod and it was great. I love that. So I might do another one of those by the end of the week. But anyway, relational equity, right? If y'all didn't know, I've been working on a book, right? Let me go ahead and wipe this head of mine because my head a little hot. Hey, wipe your head, bro. I got you. So, if you didn't know, I've been working on a book, right? This is my third book I'm working on. This book started from me thinking about the idea of customer service. And only reason I want to say customer service because, again, it goes back kind of to the fake food, kind of to the Lizzo situation, kind of to everybody knows that I pod. Well, no, I normally pod on Tuesdays, so that's why they call me. But anyway, it keeps going back to certain things that takes community. It takes people to deal with other people. And if you deal with people the right way, then they want to keep dealing with you, and that develops a relationship, right? So I said, okay, I heard one podcaster talk about how much relational equity do you have with the people that's around you. So I was like, I like that. Because in a normal sense, all right, everybody knows from real estate, when you do real estate or you buy a house, so you go out here, you find a house, the house is $200,000, right? But if you buy the house right now, the house is going to be $225,000. The day one that you move into the house, if you look at the comps in the area and say the house down the street sold for $300,000, now your house is probably close to worth $300,000, but you paid $200,000 for it. So that leaves you what? $100,000 in equity, right? But the equity is there, and if you like me now, I might be a little reckless. Every now and then I might be a little bit reckless. But if you like me, you know that equity can be used to do other things. If you want to go buy a business, right? Because people do sell their businesses. I'm actually looking at buying one right now, and then I'm not going to tell you which one. But people do sell businesses. You can buy cars with the equity. You can buy another house with the equity. You can do a lot of stuff with the equity. Go on vacation, right? But you have that equity because you own that house. You do right by that house. Say you do some upgrades. You do some bathroom upgrades. You upgrade the kitchen. You upgrade all this stuff, right? I'm sorry, I'm getting into my builder bag, but I'm going back to relational equity, I promise. But say you do some kitchen upgrades, you do some bathroom upgrades, you do all this nice stuff to the house, and now the house is worth $350,000. But you only I'm gonna say you put $5,000 into it to fix it up. Now the house is worth $350,000. Remember, you paid $200,000 for it. So what's that? $150,000 of equity. You can use it how you may. It's there for you. I like to look at relationships like that. When we deal with people, and if they treat you good, when you first meet them, you're like, oh, okay, you cool. I can trust a little bit of you. It's cool. And then they do something else good. They do something else nice. I'm gonna talk about that too. They're gonna do something else nice. Gonna do something else kind. You say, okay, cool. After they keep doing this over and over for 2 years, 3 years, they have what? Relational equity with you. So if they have the relational equity with you and they have to make a withdrawal would be something conniving. They do something shiesty that could technically jeopardize your friendship. You'll go look at the history, almost like a credit report. You're going to go look at the history of that person. You're going to say, you know what? That's not their normal character. They cool with me. We got the relational equity. I know you. I know who you are. We got to get to the space where that applies to everything that we do, right? And the only reason I'm saying that is this. I was in, if y'all didn't know, I do have jobs. I have jobs. I have businesses. Like I have a job, then businesses and other things that I do all the time. So I had one customer on my regular day job. I had one customer, well, not just one. I had a few actually, that called me over to the house and said, hey, Mike, older white guy. Hey, Mike, yeah, things are right there leaking. I don't know what it is. Something out there, can you help me? Do you know what it is? So every time I call a person, this is why I'm doing a customer service book. If I get a call whether that's with real estate, whether that's with music, whether that's with a coaching call, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to approach the situation the same every time. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, man. I saw that you got a call. I saw you call me. You had an issue. Is there anything I can do to help, or do you need to, walk me through what's going on? Yeah. If it's 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna still be the same way, no matter what time it is, no matter what industry I'm in. So they say, yeah, I got this issue going on over here. This. I'm building the equity up front. I'm building equity up front. So by the time I get to the house, I see what the issue is. By the time I get out my truck, they already know who I am. They be like, yo, Mike. I almost have I had one client to do that yet? I haven't had that just yet. But I feel the energy. As soon as I get there, they almost want to be like, come on, bring it in. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I get that every time. What up, Lee? Every time I get that response. Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. So this, and I treat them the same way. Just like when I first talk to them on the phone, I'm gonna treat them the same way when I get there in person. So I think it happened about 4 times this weekend. And this is the difference between being paid and being wealthy. Right? It's a big difference, or being rich and being wealthy, right? So every client, especially if it's an older person, I like to pick their brain. I don't pick people's brain my age because we dumb. Well, I ain't gonna say we dumb. We know certain things, but our life vocabulary is limited. So I talked to one guy. His name's Cliff. I was saying Guy and Cliff at the same time. But anyway, I was talking to Cliff and pulled up to his house. The house is worth probably $3 million. Big boy. Big Cliff. So he comes outside. First off, when I get to the neighborhood crazy. If y'all saw my last post a few posts ago, where I was talking about me imagining where I'm gonna live with the gated community and all that stuff, that's where he stayed. That's what time he on. So I get up, I pull up to his house that's in this gated community. It looked like the White House. Crazy. Circle driveway. Freshly planted flowers and all this stuff. Just nice, just real nice house. When somebody got the 12-foot door, it's a house. 12-foot door in the front. So he comes outside, older white gentleman. He got the presidential rollie. I said, okay. I said, I got the yacht club. He said, okay. You're a smart guy. So I said, I appreciate it. Tell me what's going on. So he's telling me, we talking. I'm telling him about his house. I said, well, you might want to do this. You might want to do this. So he says, you know what? Come to the back with me. So keep in mind, I'm used to this. Every client that I talk to is like this. He's like, come on, come to the back to me. I want to look at this and tell me if you see an issue with this. So we're walking down his driveway. Long driveway. He opens the gate to the back. I'm like, wow. Infinity pool right in the middle of the yard. Steps off the porch, infinity pool. Then you look to the left. What you see? Kitchen. Full outside kitchen. By the kitchen, what you see? 72-inch TV. All outside. This is all outside. He says, yeah, this is the pool house. And, when people come over, we cook out here. Got the shower in the bathroom back there. I'm like, outside? He's like, yes, outside. We do this. Regular. And he's just telling me, he's walking me through this. This is what probably my problem is. We had a irrigation guy. What do you think? It's time for me to shine. I say, well, I think this, and this. And I'm very credible. I know my stuff. So I said, I think you got this going on. I would call this person if you want to get that fixed. Okay, thank you so much, Mike. So then we talk. He says, come inside. I want to show you something. We walk into the basement. Now, my house ain't small. My house is 3,200 square feet, right? My personal house, 3,200 square feet. But his house, you can fit 5 of my houses in his basement. So we walking through the basement. I'm just like, yo. He said, yeah, Jordan signed that for me when I was doing this with Coca-Cola. And this guy signed this for me, and Tiger Woods signed that for me when we were at the golf tournament in Augusta. I was just like, who are? I still ain't asking for nothing. I'm not asking him for nothing. He asked me for it was a service call. So he's telling me this, and walking through the basement, I see all this fly stuff. So then we get to where he's showing me. He said, "This is where I think we had a leak right here. What do you think?" So I tell him what I think. We start walking outside. And I know it's a long story, so if you want to fast forward, I understand. But anyway, he says, I did want to do something over here, but I think I might want to change it up since I think we had a leak right there. So I tested. I said, no, it looks like you did have a water spot. I said, do you have a sink upstairs? And then is this a the entryway to your house? Like, is this your main line? He says, you know what? I think it is. He opens up the little ceiling tile. Boom, right there, main line. He wants to give me a hug at this point. Wait, what's going on? So I'm talking about one of my clients, and this is going back to relational equity. That's what I'm talking about. Relational equity, relationships. So business relationships. So we start walking outside, and he's like, Mike, I want to just do something. He reaches in his pocket. And this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm writing the book, because this happens to me all the time. He reaches in his pocket. He says, you know what? And I think it's cool that older rich white men they hold their hand like they're dope dealers. Everybody know the dope dealer handshake. When you that's cool. Everybody know the dope dealer handshake where they ball their fists up and they hand something off. All of the rich white guys that I've dealt with in the real estate side, they do the same thing. So he reaches in his pocket. He says, you know what? Go get you some lunch. So it's like, you don't have to. He said, I know I don't have to. I want to. I never count the cash up front. And I said, you know what? I would rather give you this cash back and you give me some jewels on life. That's the type of person I am. I said, I want to know, tell me what you did to get this house. So he starts to go through the whole Rolodex. Then he gives me books to read. Read this book for this. Read this book for this. Mindset. I was just like, oh. So I told him what I was doing. He's like, oh, you're already on track. You're already on track. So you'll be 40. He said, you got to think, I'm 75. I've done this for 40 years, older than you. I was like, okay. All right. He said, so you can't rush the process. You can do what you can to speed it up, but you can't rush it. You're going to have to live and go through certain things because it builds the character for whatever you're doing. I said, okay, I got it. So then he sends me off. He says, you know what? Make sure you call sometime. Come by. I was like, all right, I will do. And I leave, right? So I'm in my truck. I open up the bread that he gives me. This mug gave me $150 for lunch. $150 for lunch. Just because I was nice. Because I put him in the right direction of the things that he should be doing to try to find out what his issue is as far as that leak goes. This weekend, I probably made about $250 in tips. Just being nice. Being nice. So I said, you know what? I think a lot of people have to learn how to build the relational equity with customers. You can't treat your customer like trash. You can't treat your workers like trash. Lizzo, Elizabeth. You can't treat these people like trash. You got to treat everybody the same way, even if they treat you like trash up front. I know that's the Jesus talk that people don't like to hear. But I'll tell you this. This is another customer. Another customer called and said, yo, well, I need to turn this water off. I got a leak at the house. I said, all right, cool. I said, cool. So what's the leak? And I tried to give him nice. He said, wait, don't call me bro. Don't call me man. I was like, all right, cool. What you got going on? So he's telling me, I said, well, maybe go to this, walk through your house. And I'm not even there. I'm just telling him on the phone, go to this, go to this, go to this. Turn that knob right there. Do you have water? He said, wow. Man, you know what? I'm so sorry for being an ass like that earlier. This is within a 5-minute conversation. It works. Trust me. So I got the book coming out soon. I don't know what the name of it's going to be just yet. I know it's going to be customer service based, and it's just going to be for business owners to help them build their business. Nobody wants to do business with you if you're a trash person. 100%. If you trash, don't nobody want to do business with you. Commit that to memory. Last couple of things I want to make sure I talk about before I end for the night. Levels of stress. It's a lot going on right now, y'all. It's a whole lot going on, and I think I'm past the point of addressing it. Now I'm at the point of actionable line items and things that I can do to actually fix it. Whatever the fix is, I'm on that part right now, trying to fix whatever it is. So I looked it up. This, and y'all know I'm not a therapist. I might have a therapist on the pod. Y'all know me. But I saw the different levels of stress: acute, episodic, and chronic. Right? I think we are in the space where everybody has to start paying attention to what our mental capacity is. And if we are starting to say, for instance, I'm using examples tonight. So, say for instance, you're in a space where everything just seems like it's just always bad. It's just something bad over and over and over and over and over. And then something else bad happens over and over and over and over. I still feel like you can find the positive inside of the bad. Right? I don't feel like we have to fold to the stress. And I'm saying that being a person that folds to the stress. The stress be eating me up all the time. I can't lie. I told y'all again, y'all know I shoot on Tuesdays, so that's why this going off. But anyway, I feel like we have to start to remove certain elements from our space. If you have this vase over here, and I'm using the thing because I don't want to get deep, I don't want to get personal. I'm not going to be crying and doing all that stuff. But if you have this vase right here that reminds you of something that happened in 1988, get rid of it. It's not feeding you. It's not doing anything but causing you stress from 1988. Get rid of it. Throw that joint in the trash can. Trash can is right there. Right? If you have a person that's in your space and all they do is cause you stress, get rid of the relationship. Now I will say this. This is one thing I will say. Before you throw people away, try to understand where they're coming from. If you can read into their situation and you understand that, oh, they got this going on. They got this going on. That's nowhere near as bad as what I got going on. Let me cut them a little bit of slack. Cut them people some slack. Because more than likely, they're going to be super high stress. I'll say this, all right? Most strong people don't know how to voice when they're stressed about something. Most strong people, like Sean, my strong friend. I call Sean my strong friend, right? Most strong people deal with things in silence because they feel like people don't know how to address their issue properly. They're either going to feel like they're being talked down on, or they're going to feel like you're trying to interject where there is no interjection needed. You just need to be heard. A lot of strong people just don't know how. They don't know how. So, let's do this. This is an exercise I want y'all to do, and I'm 47 in, and I got a little bit of time. Cuz is on there. I see you right there. If you got that, hold that question. I like that question. Hold it. But if you got a strong friend, right? I'll call myself a strong friend. If you got a strong friend and they seem like they're just going through it at the time, they're just going through it, ask them, yo, you good? Easy. This is an easy one. Yo, you good? I'm cool. Are you sure you cool? Because, now some people might feel like you're interrogating them, so you got to kind of read the room. But at some point, if you say, or not even you good, send them a funny GIF or a funny emoji and say, thought of you when I saw this. If they send a laughing face or something back, that might be an open door to start the conversation. Right? Everybody's not in the same space at the same time. Another thing, I've learned that the higher you go, and I know it sounds so cliche-ish, but the higher you go, you do start experiencing more difficulty the higher you go. And it's like, do I want to put that out there? I don't put that. Yeah, I put it out there. So it's like me, right? Y'all have heard me talk over and over and over again about how bad we had it. You know, I had lost cars, lost my condo, didn't have nowhere to stay hardly. Was staying with my cousin. We going through all of this live in front of the internet. Keep in mind, I'm the strong friend. I couldn't let the internet see that part because I'm going to look weak. I'm going to look crazy. So, the best thing I could have had at the time, which I had to feed myself. I was feeding myself. Like Beyonce, I'm feeling myself. I feed myself. I had to feed myself Les Brown, motivational speaker. I had to feed myself Dan Henry, right? TD Jakes. I had to come E.T. the hip hop pastor. I had to feed myself all of these people because I needed that influence at the time because people didn't know how to address me because I was the strong friend. And you always figure it out. You always good. You straight? Why you looking crazy? Yo, it is one of the toughest times to be in if you are that strong friend. So everybody, please make sure you check on your strong friend. Right? Ask some questions. If they feel like they don't want to talk right now, leave it alone. Just come back to it. Come back to it. And last but not least, I want to start wrapping up. I told y'all to like, share, subscribe. Make sure you. Oh yeah, the Cash App again. The Mad Lucrative Network. Mad Lucrative Network is gonna be at the bottom. Okay, so I normally don't do that. I normally don't do it. I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing it now. I had a few of my listeners on YouTube and a few people from TikTok sent me a message and said, "Why you don't never promote the like a Cash App or tip me this or this?" For me, I don't believe in pressuring people into paying for anything if it seems salesy. I don't like being a salesman. I like being a help person. I like being a person that help. But they said, well, you know what? Sometimes we might want to help you. I was like, oh, wow. For real? It's like, seriously? I say, yeah. I bought the Recession Prep Kit. I bought the Playbook to production. I might just want to tip you on the Cash App to say keep going on the podcast. I said, okay. I appreciate, again, I don't know how to take this type of stuff because I'm not used to people giving me nothing. I've had to get it out the mud for everything. So, I will say that to say this. Make sure you hit the Cash App. The link is at the bottom. If you ain't already got the Recession Prep Kit, get that. If you are a producer and you want to learn how to produce or you want to figure out how to just get into the business, get Playbook to production. All the links are at the bottom. Thank you for watching. Episode 92 in the books. I don't think I got anything on TikTok. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you still there? All right, let's see. Okay, now I answered this question one time before, but I answer it again. Not really. That's a good way to phrase it. They say, "Are you afraid of follow?" Hold on, let me read. Y'all know I'm a little bit of Steve Harvey. All right. Are you afraid of pursuing your business and letting your family go? All the time. All the time. I think it's a point in every person's career, whether that's music, banking, being a doctor, whatever you do. I think there comes a point where you got to try to figure out what means the most at the time. And if what means the most at the time causes you to be a little bit distant from family in certain time periods, but heavier on business, know that it's worth it. You got to make sure it's worth it. You can't be busy on working on a business and your family will never be able to benefit from the business. That's kind of dumb. That's how I look at it. So, I will say this. If you do feel like you have to take time away from being with your kids, being with your wife, being with your husband, being with your friends or whatever, make sure whatever you're pursuing is worth it. If you got And I can't say this. I can't say like some businesses are dumb because I feel like with the tools of the internet and social media, every business can technically work. Like I've seen it. It's crazy. But if you have the tools of the internet that's helping you work and build your business, and say you have a business uh, providing lubrication. I ain't gonna say that. That's nasty. If you have a business providing aftercare for strippers after they finish stripping for the night, that would be a business that's booming. And I ain't gonna lie, that's actually a dope idea. And when I say aftercare, I'm talking about this. Like, y'all know that the strippers be having like the calluses and stuff on their hands and whatever on their feet. And I'm sure they be having bumps and bruises and all that stuff. If you have a service that goes around to the different clubs and helps them get rid of them bumps and bruises and, get them ready kind of like a steroid to help them out for the next day, get them through the weekend, that business would be booming. To me, being a Christian, I would say it's a little vulgar. It's not really an industry that I want to be in, but you see it's a service that people will actually use. And we know they got money because they just finished stripping. So I would say that if you got a business like that you're pursuing and that joint starts like leveling up to 100 million, whatever, your family can benefit from that. Keep going. Now, if you see again, I feel like every business can work. I was gonna say a gumball machine, but if you sell 100 million gumballs, then yeah, it can work. Like everything works. So if you do feel like you got to take time away from your family, your friends, or whatever, make sure it's worth it. That's my answer to that. Or it's good because says Glenn. What's up, Glenn? All right, so that is episode 92 in the books. I will holler at y'all next week. I actually got some guests coming too, so pray my strength. Pray my strength. All right, till next week. Peace.